Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I'm going to use my paper crafting skills. I'm not making a card today. I'm going to make a project that combines two of my interests, genealogy and paper crafting. I was going through some family recipes, and if you're like me, does your recipe file look like that? You can't find anything you want? Well, I wanted to record our family recipes for history. So I have started my own version of a happy planner, but using recipes. So I'm going to start, I started with a piece of, it's called a comic board. Oh, let me get the paper, I'll show you here. This is called, I picked a piece of this. This is magazine boards. They're 8.5 by 11, and they're real thick, almost like chipboard, but not as thick. So I cut this down to 7 inches wide by 9¼ inches long, and then I have this happy planner hole punch, and I punched a hole in it. Now the paper that I did the cover from is actually from a paper crafting kit that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's originally by Ancestry.com, and it's called Heritage. And this paper plus this sticker was in there. But what really got me going is I found these recipe rubber stamps from scrapbook.com. You can make a recipe card if you want to. I decided to turn it into a book. Now, I chose the word recipe to put on the front, but I wanted recipes. So I stamped it, and then I just kind of magic markered the S on the end. If you look real close, it looks odd, but when you're looking back at it, it doesn't look bad. So that's my cover. And I'll show you how. I got to open up I have these Happy Planner expander discs. And then those will just slide right on here. I'll put some of these on just to show you. And it goes like that. And then you'll be able to flip through your book. I may end up laminating these. I don't know. But I've done a couple pages, and I want to do a page with you today. I'm starting with my great-grandma. And I did this page for her. I cut out her picture. And from this honeybee stamp set I got the other day, called This One's for the Girls. This was a Mother's Day kit, and it had the word great-grandma on it. So I took that and stamped it on here. And I cut her picture. I printed her picture out on my computer and backed it. And then I printed a little bit of historical information on her: when she was born, who her parents were, when she died, when she got married, and who she married, and the children that she had. And then I just colored it up. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do one for my great aunt. And then I printed the sticker pages and made her, and I wrote down her homemade pumpkin pie recipe. I added a few die cuts and a pumpkin pie, and I put glossy accents on top of it to make the pie look funky. So that's her page. But on the inside pages where the recipe is, these I cut shorter. These are 6 3/4 by 9 inches, so that when I have my great-grandma, and then her pages will fit inside her. All of her recipes will go behind her name. And then at the very end of this project, and I'll show you it as I go through over the next couple of months, I'll make an index of all the recipes. But today, we're going to work on a page for my great aunt. Now, I'm not going to do the recipe page for her. I'm just going to show you how to do the photo page, because you can do this any way you want. Get my recipes off the counter here. And I went through a couple of stamp sets and die sets that I thought would work great for this project if you have anything like this. Inky Antics has this clear stamp set that has a rolling pin and canister sets, a slice of pie, and this you can make into a pop-up card in the center. And then there's the stamp set from Art Gone Wild called Happy Oven. It has all of the various turkeys, cupcakes, cookies, and it has a oven mitt and the oven. That would look great on your pages. What I used for my great-grandma's page was a Spellbinders set called Serve a Slice, Perfect Pies, and Skyview Pies. I used the pie pieces from that. And then these sets, I don't know what the company is. I got these, I want to say 3 years ago at a rubber stamping convention, so I know it's a brand name company. And I used the rolling pin and the whisk and the measuring spoons from this set on my great-grandma's page. And this is some more of the Skyview pies from Spellbinders. And they have some words on there. I only have pies for you. You deserve the best. I'm just here for the, which is what I put on my great-grandma's page. I'm just here for the pie. These are also some rubber stamps. When I get to my own canning recipes, and again, I don't know what company these are from. These are purple. I always called them red rubber stamps, but these are purple red rubber stamps. They have a canning jar, and then they have all of the different insides that you can put in your jar. And then I had this apron, which I thought would look cute. Here's another set. Actually, two different sets, purple and the red rubber stamps. You've got salt and pepper pies, aprons. Those would also look cute on here. Oh, these ones are from the other day's projects. We don't need those. All right, so let's get started on my Great Aunts page. Now I have, for this, I am just using 110-pound Nina Classic Crest. You could use lighter weight if you wanted to. I'm using the 110-pound so that my pages will be a little sturdier, which is why I got the larger dies. A Happy Planner comes with smaller dies. I guess these aren't dies, it's discs. And I may end up with a couple of books. Now for the inside page, 6 3/4, but for the outside page, I'll show you. We're just going to put this in here and make the holes. Now we can do my aunt's page. I have printed out, this is my great Aunt Rach. Her favorite color was purple. So I printed her picture out and then just did a little matte layer. And then her family history information is here. Okay. All right, Aunt Rach, where's your information? Ah, there it is. And I always want to have that at the bottom. And I want to keep the pictures away from the edge that's going to be flipping in the book. So we're going to stencil this up. And I need, in my large stamping platform, I have taken the words for the inside pages, and they're just going to stay there. But I have my grip mat in here. I don't use my large Misty for much, so I will just leave those words on there so I can go in and stamp the pages as needed. I'm using this 6x6 stencil from Rebecca Meyer Designs. It says, oh, it's thecraftersworkshop.com. And I'm just going to put this on here. And I'm going to use GinaK's Dark Lilac. And I've got a blending brush here. And I'm just going to go over the page. I'm going to use this stencil for the recipes from the women in my family. And then I haven't decided what to do for the recipes from the men in my family yet. And you can just move this around. Slide this up. I love this stencil. It's so pretty. relied too much on the grip mat as there we go. I didn't have it totally down. But it's easy to line back up. And then we'll go over here. Sorry for my squeaky chair. Some days it seems to squeak more than others. And then I want to put just a little bit down here. Just like that. Now, clean off my stencil and my grip mat. Just a little bit of water. And then I'll flip it over, get the back, and then the mat. Card making, paper crafting can branch you out into a wide variety of things. And I loved that stamp set from scrapbook.com for recipe cards. All right, now we'll get Aunt Rach on here and I hope the color, yeah, the color matches pretty well. That was I printed on the wrong side of my photo paper. So great grandma's, which is Aunt Rach's mom, is on the back of Aunt Rach. Oh, this lady could bake up a storm. She made everything using lard and all her chocolate pie, raisin-filled cookies were the best for me. And now my brother loved, she made an apple pie that was on a sheet cake, and then she put a thick layer of icing on it. My preference was I didn't like the icing on my pie, but oh, my brother could eat the whole thing. So she always made him one for his birthday. And I believe she used to work at State College, the college. I believe she worked in the kitchen there. Or, yeah, I believe so. She might have done maintenance in the later parts of her life, but I know she did somewhere in a restaurant. Now I'm going to put some flowers on here. I'm using the leaf, and this is from GinaK Designs Autumn Leaves. And I've cut that out. And then I'm also using these 3 layered flowers. I don't remember where those came from. But I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper out here so I can color. And I've cut these out in advance. Okay. And I've chosen 2 colors of alcohol ink, V381 Bluebell, and that I'm going to color the flowers with. Make sure I get all the edges covered. Now, if anyone out there has seen these particular flower dies, I would love to know. I'm trying to go back through all my stamps and dies and figure out what company they came from so that I can mark them down. Now, a lot of the dies came from my friend or garage sales, so I have no idea. And they're a little harder, especially if it's maybe a die or a stamp that's been retired by a company. They're hard to do an internet search for. Like the lattice I used in the video the other day, yesterday, yeah, yesterday's video. I have no idea where that lattice came from. And I've tried searching on lattice dies, and there are so many out there, but I couldn't find that one. Now for the green, I'm using G364 Seedling Green. Just giving it a good coat. I never really was into cooking until my husband passed away, and then I had to start doing the cooking. He was 100% from scratch cooker, baker, and oh my. And I never really had to do it. Before I got married, I lived at home. My mom did all the cooking. I had home ec in high school, but I paid more attention to the sewing portion of it than I did the cooking portion. But now I'm really into the cooking, and I'm liking to make everything from scratch. And with my, God bless her soul, my great-grandma and her homemade pumpkin pie, I remember eating it as a child. And she grew the pumpkin, she scarfed out the pumpkin and made her own pumpkin. And I thought it was horrible. Oh my gosh. I didn't like it at all. But I don't know why I kept a recipe, but I did. And then this last year, I had someone give me pumpkins. I thought, what am I going to do with these pumpkins? So I pulled out her recipe. I cut the pumpkins, baked the pumpkins, cleaned them all out, made my own pie filling, made her recipe. And oh my gosh, it's delicious. So I had to apologize to my grandma. I had no idea that her pie would be delicious in my later years. And I just, I looked up and I said, I'm sorry, Grandma. I was just a bad kid. Now I want to put some flowers here. This one I'm going to put here. Now this big flower, I'm going to glue this down flat. But the next two flowers I'm using, these are just glue dots. I have the brand name Zots. I don't want to add any height to these pages because then it would make my cookbook a little too thick. Oh, that's the wrong one. All right. I need the middle flower. But this will allow the petals to be able to lift up if I would so choose. And I see I didn't get all of the purple on that. There we go. Now I think I want to go this direction with this one. So let's glue that down. I don't know if anyone out there will like this project, but I just hope it gives someone an idea of what they can do. Wouldn't this make it a wonderful Christmas gift? Gather up family recipes and do this and give it to someone as a Christmas gift, either a newlywed or someone who's just getting into cooking and baking and canning. It will hopefully preserve the memories and the recipes for many years and hopefully generations to come. If you want to keep it for generations, I might recommend laminating at least the outside cover. But these inside pages should stay fairly well. I need one more Zot for the center here. In fact, I think I'm going to go on Facebook this afternoon and put a call out to my family. Does anyone else have family recipes that I could add to this book? And I just have two little extra flowers that I cut out. And I think I'll put one here. And then one right there with Aunt Rach. Now for the centers, I normally, if I was making a card, I would put a rhinestone. I'm going to try some Perfect Pearls. This is Lavender Lace. Oh, these are liquid pearls, not perfect pearls. Pardon me. And I'm just going to put a little dot. It's a lighter lavender. It's a lighter purple. I'll put that in the center. Okay. Now, I will show you how to stamp the recipe page that I am doing. Just have to get my grip mat back in here. Let's set Aunt Rach over here because her page is still wet. Get my grip mat back in here. This is truthfully a little awkward to stamp. I guess I just don't use enough pressure, or in some spots I do too much pressure. So I'll make sure I have the smaller page, and I do. And I just need to line it up here. Yeah, that looks good. So let's put that down. Aunt Rach, you move over here. This is hard to use this mat here on camera. It's larger than my desk. So I'm just going to stamp up the wording with the VersaFine Clair Nocturne, which means this page needs to dry for a little while, which is why I can't write the recipe on it for you here. Okay. Now, I will use my stamping helper. Hopefully it will stamp better this time. The first page I had a little trouble getting the right amount of pressure, and I still am. So let's, pardon me while I lean in. Smaller Misty's easier to work with. Not too bad. I have a few spots here in the middle. Just a little bit in there. So let's put a little bit more ink on that one spot. Pardon me. Boy, my sweater is getting old and ratty. But it was nice I was able to turn the furnace off today. So hopefully it can stay off for the winter, or the summer. But the basement does get a little cool. All right, there we go. Yeah, see, I had a little too much pressure up here. But that's the page. I'll just clean off my stamps real quick here. Just a little bit of water and an old washcloth. Okay. I'll just leave my grip mat in there because I'll do some more of these later. And that's all it is. I can take this page now, as long as I keep my fingers off the ink, for just a few minutes. It'll dry fairly quickly. Now the recipe I'll do for her is a chocolate pie. And then her raisin filled cookie recipe. So I'll decorate this up in different ways. But I hope this has inspired you. Here's my aunt's page. Okay, Grandma, where'd I put your pages? Are you hiding over here? Yeah. And this is her mother's page. Her mother's recipe page. And the cover. And I still may embellish this a little bit. And I'm surprised I haven't added bling to it. But that's it. I hope, if you haven't seen this kit from scrapbook.com, it's called, oh, what is it? The recipe, where's my list here. Recipe Card Maker is this rubber stamp set. It was a little expensive, but I think it was worth it for me. I think it was like I'm gonna say $24.99, which is, to me, a lot of money. But I think I'm gonna love my cookbook once I get everything organized and indexed, and a little bit of family history in with it. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day. I did forget to stamp Great Aunt on my aunt's page, so I did do that.